Wait, what did they do to this? What does purple mean? New. Oh, this is just new. Armor, 5% increased slowing potency of debuffs on you. Wait, what? How does that stat work? So that means that they were going to break 100 armor, they break 50? Dude, wait, what? That was the biggest thing with armor, was that's how all my characters die, by the way. Dude, I wish there was a node with saying that says something, your armor cannot be broken below 50%. Right? Like, that would be great if there was a node that said that. Because the fact that they can totally delete your defense entirely is insane. I can see its increased slowing potency. I'm thinking maybe there's a way of using this with temp chains to, like, be a positive. Thing is, Unbreak on you is terrible. So there is no debuff when your armor is fully broken on a human. On a player target, you don't get armor broken and then you take even more damage. You just lose your armor. This doesn't mean your armor can't break, but all this does is if they were going to break 100 armor, they break 50 armor. So they have to do twice as much damage to break your armor. The issue is this: you hit some essence mob that has some armor break mechanic where all their damage breaks armor. They hit you like in a microsecond, your armor goes from full to 0, and then you're dead. If it makes you go from full to 0 in a microsecond, well, now it takes 2 microseconds. Congrats, the node does nothing. Now, if you could get more stats of this, if you could stack this, like what, it would be a mandatory thing for every single armor character in the game would have to take this and then use the rolls that say your armor can't get broken to the point where you can't, because being immune to armor break is like, it's like getting shocked except 100 times worse. Wait, what do you mean? Where's this in the nodes? Is this thing not highlighting every change? I don't understand. Oh, yo, over here. That one's not terrible. I mean, that's not a terrible node. Do you know what? That's not I mean, I could see. Do you know what? Going through here to here, I could get that. Or going from here to... Do you know what? This is probably better, actually. Wait, let me think, yeah. You either go for some junk res nodes, or you go for some mid... it's called reduced armor. So that's one we're just looking at. That's on there. Oh, wow. It's not Sherman node. Okay, I mean... There's so many levels, but if you had to get that... Maybe you would just take 75%. Maybe 75% would be fine. Then again, getting immunity would be so huge. 75 compared to 0. Okay, you say that... Okay, 75 compared to 0 before game's easy as fuck. Well, the way that it would work is this, bro. You'd be chilling, and then bang, armor breaking monster. Oh, you just randomly died. Now I'm sure that now that there's not enough, now you can get past that filter. It doesn't make the game easy as fuck. What it does is now you're gonna find the next thing that kills you. The issue is they can break all your armor instantly, and then you get hit once, and it's like. Imagine there was a mob. This is the way I remember. Do you guys remember this looping bitch session that I'd have? And I'd be like, imagine there's a mob that just says your energy shield is 0. Like, you click on an essence and then it says your ES is 0. And I'd bitch about that constantly. Because it would just irritate me so much. It would infuriate me because I'd be a full armor build, full armor investment, and then I'd fight some random monster. Bang, you have 0 armor instantly out of nowhere. And then I always get one shot. And then you know what would happen? Inevitably, that's how I got killed. I think all the armor guys just died to that. That's how they died. It's just, oh, there's an unbreaking mob. It just set my shit to 0. My character has no EHP because you can't get life. And then I would just die. It was the stupidest design ever. And because you guys were playing ES characters, you didn't even know it was in the game. But for all the armor mains out there, trust me, it was terrible. So this is... The fact that you can get armor break immune, well, that is game changing. I have a 75% chance to ignore shocks or something, right? 75% chance to ignore shocks is basically having 0% chance to ignore shocks. Because guess what? You're going to get shocked at some unopportune moment eventually, and you're just going to die. So then, congrats. There was no point in having that shit. You sound like a one Andy who wants their challenge. Then you're banned. It was bad design. It was bad design. I'm a break on mobs is bad design. Okay, would you think it's good design if a mob that you fight just said, you have 0 energy shield? When you're playing a CI build or a full ES build. And it's like 1 in 20 mobs have it. No, it's stupid as hell. It's stupid. Whenever I think it's dumb as fuck. Like now, if you could roll it off your map and it could just be a thing you can't run, like if it was only for map mods, I'd be totally fine with it, right? Oh, it's a map mod I can't roll. You know, if there was a map mod that said damage bypasses ES, whatever, I don't mind. Flower Siphon, at least there was a visual telegraph and you could see it happening. If there's an outplay and the visual telegraph, do you know what? I'm okay with it. Like you can have any mechanic you want, as long as you can outplay it and it's visible enough, I'm okay with it. Wait, what happened to Live Leech? Didn't they say they were turning it into like a capped thing, which can never go over a certain amount? So it's like basically just a conditional regen. Leech is dead. Yeah, they completely cooked it, right? Every 5 rage also grants you 2% minion attack speed. Every rage also grants you 1% minion damage. Okay, whatever, dude, whatever. Increased block chance. Faster and sheer recharge from 40%. Jesus. 6 maximum rage if you use a skill that requires glory in the past 20 seconds. Up to 5 times. Wow, they really changed that one, didn't they? They're just giving us more armor on these armor nodes. 20% armor applies to elemental damage. So I like that. Presence area effect, that can be useful. Glory generation, that can be useful. 5% of armor applies. Gain deflection rate equal to 5% evasion rating. 12% of armor applies to elemental damage. Gain deflection rating equal to 10% evasion rating. How did deflection work again? That's like OP as fuck, right? Okay, my favorite defenses for 0.5. I like the Rune Ward on armor so far. Then again, I'm thinking about going a monk, so, I mean, what the hell? We got 10% armor here, 10% armor here, 10% armor here. And then we got the fucking reduced armor broken node, but then it's got a downside on it. So the fact we have to invest into this just to like make it less likely that our entire defense is turned off instantly by a single monster. And then it's linked to downsides is crazy. Which potentially could be upsides, by the way, again. So these are new apparently. Gain deflection rating. Gain deflection rating. 30% of armor also applies to fire damage. Oh, wow.
The doctor says, little goopy.
I'm going to cast damage.
Droopy.
Wow.
Goopy.
Armor, evasion, deflection, hybrid, deflection. They're really giving you a lot of deflection, aren't they? Gain deflection. Yeah, they're just giving you they're just buffing deflection at the wazoo. But wait, you can never get 100% deflect. So then basically it says like, hey, you're going to evade most of the time, and then when you do get it, you're going to deflect most of the time, but then sometimes you're not going to evade, you're not going to deflect, and you're just going to get ass fucked. Right? Which to me, that seems kind of... That sounds kind of shit for hardcore, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you get 100% deflect... I'd be more willing to go up, but then deflect becomes kind of overpowered, right? At that point, like, oh yeah, there's just a fucking 40% DR. It's like a bunch of companion shit, eh? Just more anything that was said 6 deflection is now 8 deflection, that's a decent amount of an upgrade. I like how you guys, what is that? Companions have 20% movement speed, 5% reduced movement speed penalty from using skills while moving. Okay, you guys got all these, you got stuff that makes you go faster and do shit faster, bro. Warriors are like, hey, bro, yo, when you get temp changed, you're even more cooked. Trusted kinship. You can have 2 companions of different types. 30% more reservation efficiency of companion skills. 20% less reservation efficiency of non-companion skills. Wow. Just giga buffing to this shit. Oh, wow, that's insane. That takes you from 40 to 46? That's pretty nuts. It's going to be a nerf to recharge rate. Yep. Slight buff there. Nerfs the recharge rate. Wow, the energy shield. I love the energy shield. You love to see the energy shield nerfs, chat. You love to see it. You love to see it. Life recovery rate. Maximum life and kill int. Okay, so it's a little bit redesigned. Fair enough. Life recovery is nice. For life builds. Bro, I can't tell if this is hard to read. Or maybe it's the fact that I got a fucking headache that's making it hard to read. Because this is all just new shit. 50% reduced effect of cursors on you. 35% reduced effect of non-damaging elements on you. Bro, what? Bro, that's so insane. Dude, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is that? Why the fuck do they... Dude, it's like, hey, we're nerfing... Look, get fucked. We're nerfing ES finally. But then actually... We're adding in some new ES fucking evasion nodes that have some of the most cracked shit in them that gated behind it this defense. I guess you could just take it on a build that doesn't even use those stats. I mean, it's 2 points, right? Even if you were just ES or just evasion, you could take that. Because this is nice as fuck. This is nice as fuck, and this is nice as fuck. All these three are nice as fuck. Okay, wait. We got some new. So this is all just ES nerfs. So we just look at all this stuff. It's all just ES nerfs. Not enough, by the way. Surpassing 15% surpassing chance to gain a Puppet Master stack whenever you use a command skill. The fuck is a Puppet Master stack? The fuck is that? What the hell's a Puppet Master stack, bro? Okay, whatever. Okay, here we go. I like recoup. What do we got at? 8% increased speed of recoup effects. Speed of recoup effects. Speed of recoup effects. Speed of recoup effects. Buffs and UXI slower. 20% increased speed of recoup effects. What is that on the Titan, by the way? 12% speed of recoup effects. Bro, Recoup Titan sounds kind of hot, bro. Not gonna lie. Recoup Titan, baby. It's just in there, okay? It's just in there. We're just chucking it down on the notepad. So there's a little bit of support for Armor ES. Wait, Armor ES. So apparently they were saying that was the weakest archetype in the game, and I was playing that exact archetype. And it didn't feel that bad. I actually didn't mind it. It's weird, though, because they're just trying to regenerate the ES. I don't like this. I like to, like, passively regen it. 15% of armor applies to damage, faster, increased block chance, gain 10, recover 10. Okay, I've looked at every change on the passage tree now. Yeah, what am I seeing here, Chad? I'm seeing that, I don't know, this to me doesn't look crazy at all for, like, this is my zone that I like to, this is my favorite archetype, and basically the changes here are inconsequential. They're irrelevant. Definitely a lot of deflection buffs. So deflection's getting buffed here, and a decent amount of ES recovery nerfs, and then leech recovery nerfs. And then they've got a lot of minion support. All these weird little, you got like 2 different minion stacks from commanding. They want you to command your minions, apparently.